You are watching Cold Case History.
The mysterious case of the hanging girl in Chitrakoot. Chitrakoot is a famous religious place located on the border of Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. Most of it lies in Uttar Pradesh's Chitrakoot district, while a small part is in Madhya Pradesh's Satna district. This story begins on January 14, 2018, during the festival of Makar Sankranti. Thousands of devotees had gathered at Chitrakoot to take a holy dip in the river and walk around the sacred Kamajiri hill to earn blessings. Amid the crowd, some people were exploring near a hill when they spotted something shocking. As they looked down, their eyes widened in disbelief. A young girl's body was hanging from an electric pole at the bottom of the hill. The news spread quickly. Devotees stopped their prayers and gathered near the spot. Luckily, some policemen were nearby. They rushed to the scene, alerted their senior officers, and began their investigation. Soon, a full police team arrived and cordoned off the area. When the police brought the body down, everyone was horrified. The girl was about 11 or 12 years old, and there was a cloth stuffed in her mouth. This clearly wasn't an accident. It was murder. The police believed the crime had been planned carefully. They suspected that the girl had been killed somewhere else, and her body was hung on the pole to make it look like an accident or suicide. The investigation began immediately. The police checked with nearby police stations to see if anyone had reported a missing girl. Surprisingly, there were no such reports. This deepened the mystery. The next day, the post-mortem report revealed a critical clue. The girl had been strangled to death. This confirmed that it wasn't an accident. It was a cold-blooded murder. Based on the findings, the police filed a case under Section 302 murder and Section 201 destruction of evidence of the Indian Penal Code. Their mission now was clear: identify the girl and catch the killer. The quiet town of Chitrakoot was shaken by this horrifying crime. Who was the girl? Why was she killed? And who could commit such a terrible act? The police knew they had to solve the case quickly to bring justice to the innocent victim. It was Makar Sankranti, and the holy town of Chitrakoot was bustling with a massive crowd of devotees from all over the country. Amid this chaos, a mysterious murder took place, and the police were struggling to identify the body. They suspected that the victim was not from Chitrakoot, but had come from another place. This made the investigation even harder. When there is no solid information about a murder, it is called a blind murder. The first and most important step in such cases is to identify the victim. Without knowing who the person is, solving the case becomes extremely challenging. The police realized this and started working on all possible clues to uncover the truth behind the murder. Their first step was to check CCTV footage from cameras installed across Chitrakoot. However, this was no easy task. During Makar Sankranti, hundreds of cameras were recording in the area, and the massive crowds made it difficult to spot anything specific. Despite the challenges, the police had no choice but to carefully analyze the footage, hoping to find some lead. Days of hard work began to pay off when, in footage from January 12, 2018, the police saw the unidentified girl with a young man and a woman at Janaki Khan Hospital. This was a big breakthrough. The trio was standing in line at the hospital, and the footage gave the police their first real clue. However, it was still unclear who these people were or where they had come from. To reach more people and gather information, the police shared the footage on social media. They hoped someone might recognize the faces and provide information, but no one came forward. Frustrated but determined, the police announced a reward of 10,000 Indian rupees for anyone who could provide clues about the murderers. The investigation didn't stop there. The police also checked the hospital's patient register, where the names and addresses of visitors were recorded. Unfortunately, the hospital had been overwhelmed with patients due to the festival, and finding specific details about the people in the footage proved extremely difficult. Even though the case was like searching for a needle in a haystack, the police refused to give up. They continued their efforts, knowing that every clue, no matter how small, could help solve the mystery and bring justice to the victim. The police worked tirelessly for 25 days, going through names and addresses to uncover any leads. But no solid information came their way. They focused on the hospital register, where one entry caught their attention. Vijay and his wife, Arti, from Faipur district in Uttar Pradesh. Acting on this lead, the SP sent a police team to Vijay's village, NG. Instead of directly questioning Vijay, the police first gathered information about him. They discovered something crucial. Vijay had an 11-year-old daughter named Neha, who had been missing for about a month. This revelation shocked the police, as the missing girl's age matched the age of the girl whose body had been found in Chitrakoot. The police began to suspect that the missing Neha might be the same girl found dead in Chitrakoot. With this clue in hand, they decided to visit Vijay's home, where they found him and his wife Arti. When the police asked about their missing daughter, both of them gave a strange response. They claimed they never had a daughter, only a son. The police found their denial suspicious because neighbors had already confirmed that Vijay and Arti had an 11-year-old daughter, Neha, who had been missing for a month. This contradiction made the police even more determined to find the truth. They decided to bring Vijay and Arti to Chitrakoot for further questioning. At the Chitrakoot police station, both Vijay and Arti continued to deny having a daughter. However, when the police showed them CCTV footage of the couple walking with a young girl, their expressions changed. The story took a sharp turn at this point, as the evidence started to reveal hidden truths. The couple's denial crumbled under the weight of the footage, bringing the police closer to uncovering the mystery. There was a woman named Sabina Sheikh. She was married in 2006 to a man named Zaid Ali, and they lived in a small town in Uttar Pradesh. Sabina and Zaid had 2 children, a daughter named Simran and a son named Sajid. But Sabina's heart was never happy in this marriage because she loved someone else, a man named Vijay. Sabina and Vijay had known each other since they were kids, and they liked each other a lot. But their families didn't agree with their love. Instead, Sabina was forced to marry Zaid. Even though she lived with Zaid, she always thought about Vijay. Over time, Sabina's life with Zaid became very hard. They often argued and fought because they didn't love each other. 9 years after her marriage, in 2015, Sabina decided to reach out to Vijay again. When she found out that Vijay still cared for her and was willing to accept her and her kids, she made a big decision. One day, without telling anyone, Sabina ran away with Vijay, taking her children with her. They moved to a village and started a new life together. Sabina changed her name to Arti Singh to hide her past. Her daughter Simran became Neha Singh, and her son Sajid was now called Ashish Singh. Vijay happily accepted them, and they lived as a family. Sabina, now Arti, felt safe and happy with Vijay. But she was also scared that her family might find out and cause trouble. Ashish, formerly Sajid, began calling Vijay Papa and treated him like a father. But Neha, formerly Simran, who was now around 10 or 11 years old, refused to accept Vijay as her dad. She kept calling him Mamu, uncle, as she was used to the Islamic way of addressing men who were not her father. Sabina wanted Neha to call Vijay Papa and tried to explain to her why. But Neha was confused. She asked, "You used to say he's my Mamu, so how can I now call him Papa?" This question made Sabina realize how hard it was for her daughter to adjust to their new life. Here's a simplified and rearranged version of the story for a 10-year-old. Simran was a curious and talkative girl. She lived with Sabina, her mother, and Vijay, who pretended to be her father. But Simran always said, "My real father lives in another village." This made Sabina and Vijay very worried. They were scared that Simran might tell everyone their secret. Nobody in the village knew who they really were. And if the truth came out, people in the village would create a lot of trouble for them. One day, Simran refused to accept Vijay as her father. This made Sabina and Vijay very angry. They decided to silence Simran forever. They made a plan and told her, "We'll take you to Chitrakoot to check your eyes and visit temples." Simran didn't know about their dangerous plan and happily agreed. On January 12, 2018, they took Simran to Chitrakoot. First, they went to a hospital to get her eyes checked for free and then they visited temples. On January 13th, after a long day of walking and praying, they decided to rest at a temple. Simran fell asleep quickly because she was tired. But late at night, around midnight, Sabina and Vijay carried out their cruel plan. They used a muffler to strangle Simran while she was sleeping. After that, they wanted to hide her body so no one would find it. They thought, if we throw her body in the bushes, wild animals will eat it and no one will know what we did. But when they tried to throw her body, her left leg got stuck on a pole and the body didn't fall to the ground. It was left hanging, making their crime easy to discover. Later, the police caught Sabina and Vijay. If they had been honest about their relationship and married openly, Simran might have eventually accepted Vijay as her father. Instead, they chose a terrible path. Now, both Sabina and Vijay are in jail, serving a life sentence for their crime.
This was today's true story. Our aim is for people to learn from such incidents and strive to improve society. Do let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you liked this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.